So since Friday's Veterans Day, we're not going to be doing class on Friday. So enjoy all the free food. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Michael East, can you read this one?
Yeah. JavaScript functions. A JavaScript function is a block of code designed to perform a particular task. The main advantage of using functions is code reuse. Define the code once and use it many times. Use the same code many times with different arguments to produce different results. A JavaScript function is executed when something invokes or calls it.
All right, I'll give you guys a second to answer the question.
I lucked out with an easy one today.
Well, you're at the top of the list, so you'll probably be called on again before the end.
Well, hopefully your list gets screwed up again.
It always does. Every time I do stop share and then let somebody else share, it changes up the order for some reason, but whatever. And so the answer is a certain block,
Yeah, go ahead.
a certain block of code that can be reused over and over again. All right. And Sandra, can you read this one?
Define a function. To define a JavaScript function, use the function keyword followed by a name, followed by a set of parentheses. The code to be executed by the function is placed inside curly brackets. Function names can contain letters, digits, underscores, and $sign. Same rule as variables.
Okay. Oh, oops. Well, here's
I
the
knew that.
All right, function and curly brackets. And Roger Chang, can you read this one?
Yeah, let me 1 second. All right, calling a function. To execute the function, you need to call it. To call a function, start with the name of the function, then follow it with the arguments in the parentheses. Always remember to end the statement with a semicolon after calling the function.
So functions are something you're going to use a lot because who wants to write something multiple times or have to copy and paste something? That's just, you know, a waste of space and time. So with functions, what it's talking, I'm sure it'll talk about it later, but what it's talking about by inserting different arguments into your function. So like if we said John right here, right? And we just said name and alert name. Then when we run that, it takes the argument. So whatever you have here, and it matters the order. So like if we did, you know, John and Susie and other name, plus other name, it takes it in the order. So it doesn't really matter what you call it here, as long as you call it the same thing in there. But the order has to be the same for what you put it in. So like name is the first one, other name is the second one. Any questions on that? And we'll cover this a little more, I'm sure. Nope. Okay. So yeah, and then like, oh, and here's another thing. So like you can call functions multiple times, right? So now we've got Joe and Mike, right? So first it's calling our John and Susie, and then it's calling our Joe and Mike, right? So you can use functions multiple times with different arguments to get different results, like it was saying. So, all right. I'll give you guys a second to answer the question. Let me just see how long this one is. Okay. All right, so the answer to this one, when you're creating a function, first you have to put function and then whatever you want to name it, the block of code you want to use, and then you need to call your function. And to call your function, because if you just write the function, nothing happens until it's called and you say, use this function here, right? So yeah, and so to call your function, you just the name of the function and then the parentheses. And if you've got arguments in here, then you know the arguments there inside the parentheses. So Brian A, can you read this one?
Calling functions. Once the function is defined, JavaScript allows you to call it as many times as you want. You can also call a function using this syntax, myfunction.call. The difference is what when calling in this way, you're passing the this keyword to a function, and you'll learn about that later.
Okay, so I'll give you guys some time to answer this practice question. Hold on, let me hide it. There you go. Oh, and raise your hands once you're done. Oh, that was fast, Mike. Are you like ahead of the class?
Not literally, but not with knowledge. I am, because I've just been going in and doing it beforehand, so I can try to digest it better as we go back through it. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Will, same thing, or did you just do it just now?
I did a couple of pages ahead of the class. I was kind of figuring I was behind, but apparently I wasn't.
Okay, no worries. I just curious if this was just a really easy one or what.
The one you got to watch is Kevin. I'm pretty sure he's cheating every day.
Well, he did this years ago, so
all the time.
he actually hacked your computer so he could see the answers that way. That's how he's cheating.
I told him just to log into mine virtually and just keep doing mine for me every time.
That's why I have 3 screens set up here. I'm actually monitoring all of you guys, making sure you're doing the right work.
You know, once you guys learn to program, that is a career path you could go down to, is a certified ethical hacker. My wife's cousin's a certified ethical hacker. He's been doing it for over 20 years, makes like over 200K. And they like do some really cool stuff. Like it's not just about sitting down and programming and stuff. Like they're like spies and crap. Like they go and go in and like impersonate like UPS drivers to like gain access to buildings so they can like insert their flash drives or whatever to upload stuff. And like and this is with the company's permission to test their vulnerabilities. Of course, that's why it's certified ethical. It's not just randomly hacking stuff, but yeah, they do all sorts of cool stuff like that. And like like they've got like devices that they can walk up to people's at like Starbucks or whatever, stand behind them and like scan their name badge and like then make copies of their name badges and stuff, like all sorts of stuff. It's
Yeah, I did a course. That
oh,
was
on
awesome.
certified
Yeah.
ethical hacking.
Yeah, because I was in IT in the Army, and
Oh,
that was
nice.
part of the stuff that we did. Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So, but being a programmer definitely helps with that because there is a programming aspect to it as well, of course. It's not all just spy stuff. um, all right, so the answer to this one is to create a function. We just do console.log loading and then call the function. And then when we run it, it outputs the loading to the console. All right, moving on. I'll give you guys a second to answer the next question as well. And actually, from here on out, once you guys have answered this one, just move on to the next question. Oh, did anybody need help with that last one? Was anybody stuck? If so, just unmute and let me know. Okay. In that case, we'll move on. So how many times can a function be executed inside a web page? As many times as you want. David S., can you read this one?
Function parameters. Functions can take parameters. Function parameters are the names listed in the function definition. As with variables, parameters should be given names which are separated by commas within the parentheses.
All right. Oh, well, there's the answer. What do you need to create a parameter? Write a variable name in the parentheses. Okay. There's also other ways, but we'll get to that later. Okay. Jacob M., can you read this one?
Using parameters. After defining the parameter, you can use them inside the functions. This function takes in one parameter, which is called name. When calling the function, provide the parameter's value argument inside the parentheses. Function arguments are the real values passed to and received by the functions.
All right. So we've kind of already covered this before, but just whatever you put in there is what's going to be used. So these are just variables right here, right? Except you don't have to do like name equals David, right? It just knows that whatever's in the first spot is what equals this variable. And then wherever you use it inside your function is where this is going to get inserted. So,
Is quick question on that. Is by writing in the parameter the word name, is that just a reference for us as the programmer? Because
yeah, it's nothing specific. Like if you're asking like if that's like specifically what you need to do, no, you could make this random thing, right? Doesn't matter. You're naming the variable and it still runs the same.
and so in the alert, I'm assigning a value of a specific.
Oh, alert is a thing though.
Well, right, I know alert. Alert is the pop-up box that will
okay,
show
cool.
up. But as far as like in the parentheses of where are we assigning the value of what the name is? I see where it says say hello in parentheses David.
The value is David, right? So it's like the same as doing like var name equals David, right?
Mhm.
And then saying name right here, right? Because oh wait, well I changed it to random thing, but whatever, doesn't matter. Like it's assigning the value by whatever you put into the function. And again, you can use functions multiple times. So it's like you don't have to change this code in order to change the output, right? You just have to call it again with different arguments or different variable values. Is basically what it's saying. Does that make sense, or any more questions on that?
No, it does make sense. I just wanted to confirm what I was thinking, and you did. I appreciate it.
Okay, great. Okay, so go ahead and start on this one. And just do raise hand when you're done. And if you still got your hand up and you're not done, just lower your hand. There you go. So is anybody struggling with this one, not understanding what to do or anything? Or something not working for him? Okay, David, can you do screen share? Okay, that looks good, but oh, you need to add a space after about. But well, inside the parentheses. There you go, and hit run. Oh, also reminder, is misspelled. I think. Wait, hold on. Yeah. There you go. Okay, it's always something little. Is anybody else struggling with that one?
I'm gonna have a tough time as a programmer because my spelling is horrible.
Well, that's why we use Visual Studio, because it underlines misspelled stuff. So or there's extensions you can use if you go to extensions and you just search spelling. Well, you have to spell it right. So you have to at least know how to spell spelling. But there's all sorts of different ones you can install. And like I've got, like, as you can see, 4 installed, just because I really have horrible spelling too. And I need to make sure that it definitely catches my stuff. But yeah, so you'll be all right. And you just got to get used to, like, when you're debugging, you just check for, okay, is there anything misspelled? And you can compare, like in this one, you could compare it. Like it says, like right here, reminder, right? And you can like look at it and you're like, oh, okay, so that's how it's supposed to be spelled, right? And yeah, and just do it that way. Was anybody else struggling with this one, or did you guys get it? If you're still struggling, just unmute and let me know. Okay. And I'm assuming you guys moved on to the question. So when and how is a parameter used? By calling the function and placing the value in the parentheses. All right. Peter, can you read this one?
Which one?
The function parameters one. Are you there? I can't hear you. Oh, you're like really low. Like I don't know if you're like far away from your mic or what, but it's like super low. Oh, now I can hear you better. Yeah.
Okay.
It's cutting in and out, going from like low to high. It's all right. We'll just pass. Mark H, can you read this one?
Function parameters. You can define a single function and pass different parameter values, arguments to it. This will execute the function code each time for the proven argument.
And again, we've kind of already covered this, so we don't need to really run it. I'll give you guys a second to answer the question. All right. And the answer to this one is first, we put function in order to create a function, then the name of whatever we named our function and the parameter that we want to put into the function. All right. In this case, we want test in order for it to print hello test. Just do this one? Nope, I don't think we did. Wait, hold on. Nope, we didn't do this one. Okay. Let's see, who haven't I called? Ayani, can you read this one? You there, Ayani? Okay. Lewis L, can you read this one?
Yes. Multiple parameters. You can define multiple parameters for a function by comma separating them. And the example above defines a function, myfunc, to take 2 parameters.
Okay, I'll give you guys a second to answer it. I'm just stop screen sharing so I can see how long it should take. All right. So answer this one. What character is used to separate parameters from each other? The comma. Kevin, can you read this one?
Multiple parameters. The parameters are used within the function's definition. Function parameters are the names listed in the function definition.
All right. So take a second to answer this one. All right. So with this one, what is the output of this code? So first we create our function and then we call our function and we called it with the parameters 5 and 8, right? So 5 is X, 8 is Y. If 5 is greater than 8, then print this. Well, it's not. Else print Y. And Y is again 8, so it's going to print 8. Michael East, can you read this one?
Yes. Multiple parameters. When calling the function, provide the arguments in the same order in which you define them. If you pass more arguments than are defined, they will be assigned to an array called arguments. They can be used like this: arguments in brackets 0, arguments in brackets 1, etc. And then there's a practice.
All right, so let's do the practice and the question after the practice, and just raise your hand once you're done with just the practice.
Hey, Brandon, real quick,
What's up?
on this specific example, if you run it and you get 3 of the 5 test cases correct, well, I'm not sure what that means.
It just means that you did it partly right.
It's a win for me right now.
So I'll wait till everybody else is done, or till there's more people done, but then I'll take a look at yours and you're probably not accounting for draw is what I'm guessing. I could be wrong. But I mean, if you're getting most of them right, it's either you're not accounting for one of them.
Sure.
And so that's why some of them are right and some of them aren't.
Disregard. I figured it out. I didn't have a capital D in the word draw.
Yeah, always something little. All right, looks like most of you guys are done. So just looking at this one. So we're given the variables of goals for team 1, goals for team 2, and then we've got to call the function final result by passing the goals for team 1 and passing the goals for team 2 into it. And then so let's say this is team 1 is 5 and this one scores 4, right? Well, we do our if statement for if goals for team 1's greater than goals for team 2, print team 1. And since it was greater, that's what would happen. But if it was less than, then it'd say team 2 1. And If it's neither of those, then else is going to be a draw. You could also do other if state. You could just do multiple if statements. That would work too, and like have an if statement of equals equals. There's like we always say, multiple ways to skin a cat. But this is just the way I did it. And when you run that, it's good to go. Who is still struggling with this one? If so, just unmute and let me know. Okay. If nobody's unmuting and saying you're having issues with it, I'll assume you guys are all finished up with that one. And then moving along to the question. Oh, I guess there was no question for this one. All right. So Mark H, can you read this one? Oh wait, isn't this what we just finished?
We just read this one.
Yeah. Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
I'm the
click
one when I
continue.
clicked it. Oh, okay, there was a question. Oops. Okay, well, here's the answer. The answer, function plus y. Mark H, can you read this one?
Multiple parameters. After defining the function, you can call it as many times as needed. JavaScript functions do not check the number of arguments received. If a function is called with missing arguments fewer than declared, the missing value are set to undefined, which indicates that a variable has not been assigned to a value.
Okay, so take a second and answer the next question. And how many times can the declared function be used? Any amount of times. Jacob N, can you read this one?
Function return. A function can have an option return statement. It is used to return a value from the function. This statement is used when making calculations that require a result. When JavaScript reaches a return statement, the function stops executing.
So return functions you're going to use a lot because generally if you're creating a function, it's because you want it to give you some sort of value. But anyway, we'll get into that more. You'll see more about it. Take a second to answer the question. All right, when is the return statement most frequently needed? When you need to make a calculation and receive the result. Samantha D, are you all caught up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can you read this one?
Function return, use the return statement to return a value. For example, let's calculate the product of two numbers and return the result. If you do not return anything from a function, it will return undefined.
So whenever you're doing this, when you're calling a function and you're going to use a return statement, you need to have a variable or a constant, but we'll get to that later, in order to put the result in. So when we run this, it outputs the, so it takes our values, puts it in here, and then times A times B gets 88. and then it returns it to assign it to this result variable. So like if you just had it just like this, then that would be pointless because it can't, it's not assigned to anything. And so you just always have to assign any return statement to a variable, and then you can use that variable's results for whatever you're needing to do. So take a second to answer the next question. All right, where is the return statement placed? At the end of the function description. That's questionable, because I mean you can have multiple return statements in your function, and like if you have like if statements, like if this, return that, if else, return this. So it's not always at the end. You could have like multiple, but generally it's at the end of your function. David S., can you read this one?
Function return, another example. The document.write command outputs the value returned by the function, which is the sum of the parameter. Average of 3, given the program takes 3 numbers as input.
All right, so go ahead and start on this one and then answer the next question as well. And just raise your hand.
If all you with your hand up already have this solved, I'm quitting today.
No, no quitting. You signed a thing.
I think paying for fraud would be a fraud punishment would be easier than learning JavaScript.
No. Just it just takes time. Like if you need me to explain it more, I'm happy to do that. You'll eventually get it. And with practice, you'll get it. And honestly, you probably have whatever. Oh, hey Kevin, can you share that to everybody?
Yep, no problem.
Thanks. But yeah, with practice you'll get it, and I'm happy to, help more, explain things.
Do you have a practice site that we can go to?
No, we were
Let's
just
build one for next year's internship.
Hey, you know what? There you go. That's actually not half a bad idea. As like a practice project for y'all, where it just drills you like over and over again to have you keep
Awesome.
trying different things. I like it.
And then we'll sell it as an app and share the revenue.
There you go. But yeah, we should do that. Why not? Well, let me keep looking to see if I'm sure they have something like that out there. I just haven't really looked too hard. Now, I know they do have ones that give you like projects like Sololearn does, and those are actually really good because a lot of interviewers will actually have you take similar tests. Like they give you like this automated site that works just like Sololearn, where you enter your code and then it gives random inputs and then it just checks your outputs. Like they don't care which way you skin the cat as long as you get the right answer. Why do we keep talking about skinning some cats? That's so anyway. But yeah, let me look at some of these. Some of those are good. I'll recommend some of those to y'all, but let's see. Is it Hacker Rank that's the number one? One of these is like the number one in the world for no, that's for programming. What's it called? Programming challenges, and they have like cash prizes you can win for programming challenges on Hacker Rank. Or I think it's Hacker Rank. Hold on. Yeah. I think it's this one, but this doesn't look right. No, it ain't this one. Hold on. I don't need a spell. Use Code Wars. This looks more familiar.
Oh, I've seen this one, yeah. There is a website called CSS Battle if you want to practice CSS. It like gives you everything from super elementary all the way to advanced challenges. And it's one I was playing with during CSS, but JavaScript, I haven't found anything like that.
Yeah. It's this one.
If you got to work that hard to find one, there's a hole in the market for one.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm finding lots of them. It's just I'm looking for one specific one that I know is really good. Oh, and don't forget to raise your hands once you guys are done. I know a lot of you have, but that's why I'm still looking on for this. Oh, I think it's Top Coder. Yeah. I think it's Top Coder. This one has, okay, so in addition to this, so I mean, you can do this, and this has got different challenges and stuff. And that's good. Eventually, what you could do to practice your skills is you go to, oh, what's it called? Let me Google it. Oh, Upwork. That's what it was. Yeah, you go to Upwork and you can, like, you just search on here for like this one's where you list yourself or whatever. This is looking for programmers, but you can get registered with this, and then like they post all sorts of programming jobs, and like the low end is 25 bucks an hour. Like most people charge between like 50, 75, 85 bucks an hour or more in the hundreds. A lot of people charge like $125 an hour. And just taking like random jobs that people are trying to get done. And there's a lot out there because a lot of companies will use stuff like this. So that's something to consider too once you're done. I mean, I'm going to give you guys plenty of projects to practice on, throughout this year, but a lot of programmers just stay as contractors because contractor jobs pay better than traditional jobs. The only problem is it's short term, so you got to like really make sure to line up your like job after job after job, which can be annoying, but like pays pretty good. So something to consider about. But while you're just playing around, this Top Coder would be a good one to go to. I'll post it in the chat while you're learning because they've got lots of little challenges and stuff. So it's not quite what we were talking about, where like you just drill on for loops and stuff like that, but I'll keep looking. And if not, and if I don't find anything, we'll just build it. Why is it not? I'm gonna just stop share. Okay. Looks like a lot of you have finished, so we'll continue on. So with this one, all right, they give us our 3 random inputs, and it wants us to return the calculated value. So we just take our inputs and your num1, num2, num3, just add them together, get our total. But then it wants it to be the average. So then we just divide average, we just divide it by 3 and return that. And then we do our console log the average, and because we've got our variable up here. Oh, and you know, I said earlier that you always have to put it in a variable. I should have been more specific. You have to put it to something. Generally, you put it to a variable and then call it that way. But what you could also do is, like, if you're just trying to console log it or whatever, you could just put it to the console log, and that'd work too. But generally, you'll put it in a variable and then use it where you need to. So, yeah. Anybody stuck on this one or still need help with this one, or having issues
Yes.
to debug? Okay. Can you do screen share?
Yeah, I started trying to copy what you had down because I was completely lost. There is.
All right. So, all right. Well, so let's start by by adding X, Y, and Z up. So what you could do is, if you just change, if you want to do it all on your return statement, I recommend usually putting it in a variable, but since you've already got it there, if you change those commas to plus signs, then it'll work for you. And now hit run. And
Okay.
yeah. Anybody else struggling with this one still? Okay. If no one else is, then we will, we're about to stop here. Once we do this last little module that we're on. So hopefully you guys answered the next question as well. Moving on. What do we put? We put return to return whatever result we get. All right. And so now we're going to stop with the class for the day and let you guys move on to keep working on your CSS and everything. But what I'm going to do is for the guys stayed around yesterday so that we could post, or so that we could add some stuff to your main.py, so that you could input information into a form and then submit it to the post section of your page. So I think actually the easiest way to do this is I'm just going to paste the whole thing in the chat if it'll let me. The guys that stayed are probably mad because they're like, we could have just left and then just copied and pasted it, but that's just what I'm gonna do. So you use this to actually, I'm gonna have to tweak it a little bit. One sec. Okay, so copy this and replace your main page with what I just posted in the chat. And I'll show you what it's doing here. So we'll start by looking at the code. So what we're doing is we're creating a form, right? Using HTML forms, which we learned about way back in HTML, right? And so right here it says test2, but yours is just gonna say that, just the slash, because it's for your main page, and your main page doesn't have a URI, and the URI is like the yourwebsite.com/whatever page, right? So yours won't have one because it's the main page, and so it doesn't have that. But anyway, so we're creating a form where users can type info into, and then we submit it to the post section of the page, and then we take that, put it in a variable, and this is Python. So, but you'll eventually be getting to Python, and this is just how you do a Python variable. You don't have to put var, you just put the name of the variable. And then we are inserting it. So this is similar to inserting text into strings in JavaScript, but with Python, you do it with dot format instead of the dollar curly sign thing. And so, and then we're doing user input, assigning it to this variable right here so that we can then run our JavaScript code. So as we're learning JavaScript and you want to test out your different JavaScript, like you might want to make functions or whatever, then you can put all those functions, you know, right here and just use the input that you've got from the form. And so like now when we type into the form, so oh, and you can delete that John 8 thing. I was just using that as an example, but it just takes whatever we type and displays it 10 times because it's just a basic for loop, but you can replace this with whatever you're programming and just get rid of this and just use your input. Any questions on that? All right, well, if while you guys are, so again, you're going to replace your, oh wait, I'm not on the main, you're going to replace your main page with that. So like this stuff right here, on yours, you're going to, well, yours won't look like this. Yours will look more like this, but you just replace that. And if anybody has any questions or is struggling to do that, just let me know. And then also go ahead and, like I said, keep working on your CSS and stuff. If you're done with your CSS, then go ahead and like just play around with JavaScript to try and understand it, like Michael was saying. So maybe like try writing a for loop 10 times and then try making a function 10 times or something like that to get it drilled into your head. And that's only if you're fully done with all your CSS on your your resume page.
So got a question. I know my mic.
What's that?
On my environment.
Oh,
it looks like, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're cutting in and out, but for now, you're
Yeah,
right.
I would just I'll ask another day. I'm not at home, so where I'm at, Wi-Fi is not good.
Well, it's coming in good for now. Try for now.
Yeah, I was saying, so it looks like we are just going on with this course. I mean, at what point are we gonna, I know we are working on Are we gonna get a break to everything that we are learning? Some sort of practice, like or build something? Or how many more we gotta go to actually put that into practice? Because we got a whole year. So I don't know if we just want to keep
Yeah.
learning and
So-
learning. I mean,
No, we're not going to be learning the whole year. So
okay,
right now, this is like basic training for you, right?
okay,
We're throwing everything at you. Hopefully you retain some of it, but at least you're getting familiarization with it, right?
okay,
Once we're done with all, and also we're having, that's why we take the hour each day, or a lot of times I don't give you all the full hour, but I'm going to try to more often, the hour each day, so that you can take what you learn and then implement it onto your resume page, right? So that'll hopefully get you some retention on what you're learning. But
okay,
we don't have very far to go. So we're already through over half the course, and it's only been like a month and a half, something like that. Maybe 2 months. No.
So for this class, we are learning to like what? I mean, I know we got Python, and then what else?
Right. So we're gonna finish JavaScript, then we're
Right.
gonna do jQuery, and jQuery is just like a shorthand for JavaScript. That course won't take too long, maybe a week or so. So we're gonna finish jQuery, then we're gonna do Python and SQL, and after at that point, then is that break you're talking about, right? Because at that point, then we're going to start working on putting this to use in actual real world projects, right? So you guys, you'll finish up once you finish everything, you'll finish off your resume website, and it'll be a functional website that people can log into. They can update their profile, they can message you, they can see messages that they've sent you and your replies from the login. Also teach you how to make it so that when they send a message, it emails you and does text messages. Like you'll learn all that, because that's not taught in Sololearn, but I'll show you how to do it. But you'll learn all that, and then you'll start working on like real world projects, kind of like the one Michael just thought of. That was a good idea. Like, maybe we'll make that. But there's also tons of other real world projects that I've got going on. So like, for example, we've got the FMLA and HR management tool. We've got the what's it called? The after school pickup app, where people scan QR codes to pick up kids. We've got Military or the Purple Hearts website you could work on. We've got the DDPP, Drunk Driving Prevention Program. It's a program that drives soldiers in their cars home for free. Their website, manage that, and like 3 or 4 other ones too. And so you guys will be able to pick which one you want to work on, and then I'll assign you real world projects so that you can actually test your skill, or you can work together in teams to try and accomplish specific tasks for real world things. And then you'll be able to put your real world experience on your resume website. So like if you're working on the and you'll rotate between everything so that you get a chance to work on everything. But like while you're working on the MOPH's site, right, you'll be able to put that on your website, that you worked on a website that has over 60,000 members and has it's chartered by Congress, and then like all the different things that it does and everything. Like you'll be able to list that. It'll look really good. And then like all these other projects you'll be able to list to show your experience. But as you work on those, like you're not going to remember everything that we've learned, right? You're going to have to re-look it up. But eventually you'll have to re-look it up less and less and less, right? You just need to know that it's possible. Like you just need to know that loops are possible. You don't necessarily need to remember the syntax. It'd be great if you could, but you probably won't at first, right? You'll like you just need to know that variables are possible. You just need to know like all these things that we're learning. You just need to know are possible, and then when you're sitting down thinking like, okay, I have this specific task that I need to execute, such as let's say you're creating the update profile page, right? And you want people to be able to type their input and then send it to the database and save it in the database. You might not remember exactly how to do that, but you look it up, but you think, okay, I know it's possible, so I want to do this. And then you look up like the exact syntax and everything and then try it out. And that's why we have debuggers, and like you'll have a test database so that you can't screw anything up in the real database and stuff like that, so that you could then run your tests and be like, oh, well, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. Let me see what I'm doing wrong. And then like you figure it out and whatnot. So anyway, long story short, once we're done with Python, then you'll start doing real world stuff. And then once you guys have had some practice with that, we'll move on to C#, which is what you use to build apps. And then I'll rotate you guys through a couple different apps as well. So that like you practice, once you've got it kind of solidified your web development skills, then you'll work on your mobile app skills so you can get that, because apps are kind of a whole different animal than web development. There's a lot of similarities, but we're going to solidify your web development stuff and then solidify your app building stuff. Does that answer your question?
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Brandon, in regards to that, are we still, when we get to that phase where we're working on independent projects and rotating and things like that, are we still doing the 4 days a week, 2 hours a day, logging in and touching base?
Yes. So we'll still do that. And then because I don't expect you guys to just know how to do it all on your own, I'm still going to be here to answer your questions and help you out. And also then you'll be able to break off in teams in order to work on things. And then you can delegate different stuff out at your team level, right? Like you'll have a team leader who is in charge, and you'll rotate team leaders so that everybody gets a chance as well. But you'll have your team leader, and like you'll say, okay, we've got this set of things to accomplish, all right, and then you'll hash it out. Who wants to do this, that, and their other. You'll probably try and do it on your own, and then work together as a team. Hey, I'm not able to figure this out. Can you help me out? You know what I mean? So you'll be working independently, but also as a team, which is how real world programming works. And then if you guys can't figure it out as a team, then you just come to me and I can help, guide you through whatever problem you're having and whatnot. So yeah, we'll still be here and meeting and everything. It's just it'll be different because we won't be learning as much once you've learned everything. So
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Brendan.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, remember before I went into surgery, we had some issues with my
Visual Studio?
call it the Visual Studio.
Yeah. Do you want to do screen share?
I can, yes.
Okay.
All right, let me. All right, so that's the last that we got.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
what
pull Visual Studio back up.
what was that? I don't know what that is.
Okay. And then click on your pieces of paper in the upper left corner. The two files in the upper left corner. Yeah, right there. And then click on your main.py. Once it loads. That's weird. Go to File and go to Open Folder. And navigate to your internship test page.
I don't know what that is.
Check your desktop. Scroll down. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay, click open. No, not on that, because then you'll just be opening your static. Nothing appearing. Okay, close Visual Studio and reopen Visual Studio.
I don't know what all this is. Jesus. You think I got enough stuff open?
That's all good.
Okay.
Okay, now click open where it says open. Yeah, right there. And scroll down. Or no, go to your click desktop. And then scroll down until you see internship test page.
I just type it.
Yeah, that works.
I got too much stuff.
And then click, don't double click back. Yeah, don't double click it, just click it and then click open. Okay, there we go. All right, so click on your main.py. And it doesn't really matter, I just like to have it open. Okay, and now type Python space -- version. Yeah, you're only using Python 2. We want to get it to Python 3. Did you install Python 3?
Yeah, we did it together.
Okay.
But it'll keep popping up the 2.7.
Okay. First try clicking the bottom left corner, the settings thing. And then yeah, command palette, and then Python select interpreter, and then choose choose the recommended one, the 3.8. Now type Python space -- version. Okay, quit Visual Studio, like do file quit. Or actually, sorry, code. So go to the one that says not cut file, but code right next to it. So go up to your file menu again, and then see how code's next to file.
Oh, okay.
And then do quit. Okay. Now open Visual Studio. and click to the bottom and type Python space dash dash version.
This is coming up.
Okay, type Python 3 space dash dash version. Okay, so go to your selector or your settings and go to command palette and then go to your Python select interpreter and choose the 3912. Okay, and now type Python 3 space pip install Flask.
Pip install together.
And no, separate words. And then Flask with the uppercase F. And enter. What the heck? Do pip 3 space dash dash version. Okay. Do pip 3 install and then space Flask with uppercase F. Okay. So now let's try Python 3. Oh wait, actually first pull up the stuff from that we have to paste in there. And just copy the export part.
The top.
Yeah, actually, copy the whole thing right there. The
Right
export.
here, this one.
Yeah, the whole thing. And copy that and paste it. And hit enter. Huh. Can't locate your variables for some reason. Oh, command not found. Put main in quotation marks. So click into, oh, yeah, it's not in quotes, but it's not gonna like your those quotes anyway. So just paste the export at main. Just the export Flask at main, and then you're gonna have to add quotes to it because those ones are non-ASCII quotes. So click to the left, now add your quotes, and then click to the end and add your quotes. Now hit enter. What the hell? It normally doesn't. I mean, you shouldn't be able to do set, but try set Flask at main. I'm pretty sure that only works on PCs, but who knows? Maybe yours is so new it's I don't know. They changed something.
Instead of the export set.
Yeah, try set Flask at main.
Okay, hold on. Don't freak out. I'll fix it. In parentheses too, or
Try it without and see what happens.
okay.
Okay, that didn't work. Okay, now try it with the quotes. No, nothing wants to work. Huh. Okay. Do all lowercase Flask space dash dash app like it's saying there.
Um,
APP. And enter. Oh, okay, cool. So do Flask space dash dash app equals main. Just like that. Enter. Missing error, missing command. Okay. Okay, do Flask space dash dash. Oh, do you need to take that? You can if you need
no,
to.
it's my ex. No big deal.
Okay. Same thing then. Flask space dash dash app equals main, and then space Flask run, or no, run. Let's try run. See what happens. Sweet.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So copy that.
Oh, I will, trust me.
Let's try. Well, it looks like it's already. Wait. Scroll to the bottom, because it looks like it's already running development mode. So it looks like it's gonna take your the export Flask environment equals development, because that gave no issues, but you're just gonna have to so click into your Visual Studio, or I mean not your Visual Studio, click into your notes where you had all that, and then delete the export Flask app main, and then change Python 3-n Flask run to that Flask space dash dash app. It's got to be lowercase though. It auto corrected for you.
Oh.
And click the X. Yeah, there you go. Space dash dash app equals main space run. And
Okay.
apparently your computer changed everything up on us and wants to do things weirder than anybody else has ever done. I've never seen anybody have to do that. But there you go. Now you know what to do. All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anybody? David, did you have your hand up because you had a question?
Yeah, I'm trying to align something in my footer, and it was aligned, and I did something, and I messed it up, and now I can't figure out what I did.
Okay, can you do screen share?
I'm trying to align these three things up with this.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I did.
Okay. Let's look at scroll down to the footer.
I'm in the footer here.
Oh, yeah. Put your, you need your closing UL on like line 161. Oh no, just and then delete it. It added it for you, so just delete that part. Yeah, there you go. Save that and see if that fixes it. Okay. Oh, that didn't fix it. All right, click back. Scroll down. I want to make sure your container has a closing div. I'm assuming that's one of those, is it? Let's go ahead and line everything up so that we can see what div belongs to what. Do you know how to do that? Like basically just have it tabbed out. So like let's start with everything flush. So scroll down and then highlight up to your footer, your opening footer. Okay, and now do hold control and hit the opening bracket, so like the squiggly bracket under the yeah, keep going all the way flush. Okay. First we need to see if you have anything for your body. It goes down to the end there. So scroll up to the top. So scroll down. You know what? We're just gonna have to do this for the whole thing because I'm not gonna be able to tell which is, but it's cool because it'll be more readable to you after. So just do select all. If you just hold control, I think A. Yeah, okay. And now hold the control bracket thing. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So let's start here. UL to UL. All right. We got two ULs in there. Oh, wait, and that's huh. Okay. So but I'm not worried about that because let's just focus on divs. So scroll down. So let's okay, your intro div. Let's see where that closes. So just scroll up. You know what? This might be faster if you just send this to me and I clean it up real quick. You mind going to the chat and clicking on upload file and then choosing that file. Here, we'll do stop share. It'll be easier for you to see it. So yeah, so now go to the so open the chat and next to where it says everyone, like to everyone, directly to the right of that, there's a picture of a file. Just click that file and then choose that use your resume HTML. Well,
Okay.
Samantha, did you have a question? Is it a quick question or?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can barely hear you though. I don't know if that's just me.
can everybody else hear me?
I think so. It's like background noise from somebody else. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay.
But,
There you go.
okay, yeah, that's better.
Okay.
So I wasn't here yesterday and I copied the thing that you sent in the chat and I put it in my main.py and I'm not understanding
Okay.
what it is. And it's also giving me an error.
Okay, can you do screen share real quick?
I copy and pasted to put in here.
Oh, scroll up. Oh, you deleted the whole page?
Was I not supposed to do that?
Yeah, do control. Okay, good. Good, you're able to control Z it. Okay, so just delete so scroll up and delete from line 10 down until where I say. So like I guess you could start at line 9 and just highlight down and keep going down. And this isn't your resume page, is it? This is just your testing stuff out.
Now I think this is my resume page.
Oh, okay. Well, let's copy this first because this should be in
I
your.
think I did. Let's see.
Yeah, check your index.html or I think you've got it, or maybe you have it in. What's going on here?
This is the div thing that you sent a while back.
Oh, okay. Click your resume.html. Maybe you put it there. Does that look right?
This is just my resume.
Okay, so is that all the stuff that you've been working on for your resume though?
No,
Oh,
I think
okay.
maybe I have had it in the wrong spot the whole time.
Oh, okay. Let's just
No,
click.
this is like my main page on my website.
Okay, so let's do this. Your index.html you haven't done anything with, right?
No, that was just me messing around with the div stuff that you
Okay,
said.
paste it in your index.html because generally your index.html is where your is the main page of your website.
Okay. So paste all of this into the index.
Yeah, yeah. Well, did you just do select all? Because you don't want to do select all. You just want that stuff. So like from line 13 down. Oh, you're gonna need to move your title into the head section. So like somewhere after line 16. There you go. And then just cut line 13 or copy or cut from line 13 down to wherever you got your closing three. Yeah, right there, right to line 80. Okay, so copy that. And then go to your index, paste it there. And you're good to go. So now we can, okay, so now highlight from line 82, or no, you're at the top. Just highlight from line 9 down to 82. And delete all that. And now paste in there on line 9 the stuff that's in the chat.
Why is it not letting me go back to the chat?
Oh, probably because
sharing.
You share. Yeah, hold on, I'll stop
Yeah,
your
okay.
share. There you go. So now it should. So I'll show you. Because you should be able to still do it while I'm doing screen share. So I'll just show you what it does. So now let's go to test 2, the original. So your test 2 should look like this, and then you just type something like hello, and you send the info, and it's going to repeat it right there, just because it's taking the variable, it's taking your input, saving it to a posting it to this page, saving it to a variable, and then inserting it into the HTML and into the script right there, so it becomes a JavaScript variable, and then just executes that line of code. Does that make sense, or do you need me to explain it again? That went really fast.
Well, I just copied that into the thing, and then you said something about test 2, and then I honestly was lost.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Do screen share again once if you got it pasted now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it.
Okay. And I haven't forgot about you, David. I'll be right there.
That's okay. I sent it to you there in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, I'll clean it up real quick in a sec. This shouldn't take long. So, okay. So now go to your main page, or well, first save that. Do Control S to save that, and then go to your browser and just hit refresh. And so now, like, type something.
And this.
Yeah. And then just hit send info. So that one, so I was actually using it as an example. I added that you could, here, we'll delete that part. Hold on. So click in there and scroll down. or click into your Visual Studio and scroll down. And then delete the lines 49 and 50. I was just showing how you could combine multiple variables, but you don't need that for what you're doing. And then delete on line 51 the random name plus some num plus.
Just the parentheses or the whole?
No, just the where it says random name. So just that and the sum num in the plus. Yeah, there. Okay. So now it'll behave just like mine. But the whole point of this was you're not just going to leave that for loop there, right? Like as we learn JavaScript stuff and you want to test it out with different random input, you can then put your JavaScript code there and then use that variable of user input and then see how it executes or whatever, right? Does that make sense now?
So I gotta rewatch the video from yesterday too, so it should make more sense later.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds
All right,
good.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Now let me clean that up. Hey, David, I think you're missing a UL, so I'm just gonna add it.
Okay.
You've got some, it just doesn't add it.
I'm kind of scatterbrained on there. I start working on one thing and
Oh, no worries.
then I start working on something else and I start working on something else and I forget what I was doing and I go back and then I forget what I was doing on something else and then I start working on something else and
I feel ya. It's all good. I just didn't want you to, well, I guess you use the same one. So, well, of course you'd have to use this one anyway to use the cleaned up one. So I don't know. I guess I didn't really need to tell you that. Oh, hey, it's 4. Everybody who wants to take off, you guys are good to go. David, do you have time to stick around so I could send this to you? Or if not, I can email it to you.
Take care, guys.
Have a good one. Bye.
I got a little bit of time yet
Okay.
before I have to take off to work.
Okay. Well, worst case scenario, you gotta take off. Just shoot me your email in the chat, and I'll just email it to you once I'm done.
Okay. Hey, Brandon, I'm gonna have to get going to work.
Okay, sounds good. Can you just put your email in the chat? And
Yeah.
one thing, so I'll just explain it real quick. Or do you have like 2 seconds or no?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool. So I'm almost done here, but so basically what I'm doing is I'm just lining up. So like with your opening div, so you can make sure you go straight down and see the closing div, and any stuff that's in that div, you tab over, right? So unless your div ends on that line, you should be able to come straight down to see where it ends. So like, this one's missing a div. That's what was showing me that. But anyway, does that make sense for how to do them in the future?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll get that email to you. Have a good one.
All right. I'll send you my email here.
Sounds good.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, what's up, Iani?
Nothing much. I was just wondering about the Sololearn. Do you need me to send a username and password?
Did I get you updated or did I not update you yet?
No, I don't think you updated me yet.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, email me your username and password, and then also, wait, did you sign the form already?
Yes, sir. I signed. I sent it to you.
Hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 sec. Let me see what's going on. Where are we on here? Uh, Wait, did you send it to the webmaster Purple Heart or did you send it to, oh, did you just send it just now?
Yes.
Okay, well, that would be why. If I just now got it, then I'm not gonna be able to upgrade it till tomorrow because if I try and log in right after you were logged in, then it's gonna be like, okay, how did you just go from that state to that state? And it's gonna tell me unauthorized, and it's gonna log me out. Because I had that's what was happening when I was first trying to upgrade y'all, and they figured out why it kept kicking me out. But yeah, tomorrow I'll upgrade it, and then you should be good to go. So just do me a favor, don't log in until before class. So like, and I'll try and do it in the morning so it has enough time to let you still log in during class.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I didn't think for I sent did I send it to the wrong email address?
No. You sent I just so I didn't realize you had just sent it, and so I'm like, "Oh, shoot, I don't remember getting one. So that's all I was saying.
Oh.
So I didn't realize you just sent it. That's all.
Oh, okay.
All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
fuck is that random URL?